This is the Spirit and Wellness Show. News and information from a higher perspective. With your host, Harry Wilkinson.
Yes, hello, this is your host, Harry Wilkinson, and welcome to the Spirit and Wellness Show. This is the show where we take a look at the days and weeks, events, news and information, breakthroughs in science and technology, entertainment. And we look at it all from a higher perspective, from a spiritual perspective that tells us, what we are creating in our world as co-creators with Divine Mind, and what we can take within from all of these events as we grow and continue to remind ourselves who and what we really are. And sometimes it may seem a bit challenging to do that when one looks around at some of the information that comes to us, some of the reporting that we hear about politicians, government shutdowns, so forth and so on. It can leave one wondering, what is going on here? What is this about? What could I possibly take within from this situation? There's so much frustration right now with this idea of the government shutdown. And it's something that it's very interesting to look at from the perspective of who is frustrated and why. What we're seeing reflected in our government institution is simply us. It's our divisions, it's our divided minds that is being shown to us mirror style in this situation. We have a representative government, and these people are doing exactly what representative governments do, representing the people who sent them there to be their voice in government. Now, that is what the government is set up to do. However, when the voices in the government become too fractious, you can't govern, essentially. And so we have a situation where there are factions of people within our country. Small or large factions, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is that they want radically different things. They perceive things radically differently. And they have radically different needs. And those needs can conflict to such a degree that one hits a wall, if you will. So you have people who don't think that government works and would like to prove it by shutting it down altogether. You have people who think that government works a little bit and would like to compromise here and there just to kind of keep the status quo going. You have people who want to change government And they're all coming together to take a look at this situation, this impasse that we've reached, and to stand firm for their point of view. So, to me, the takeaway here is that this is the ultimate in what the belief in separation can do. This is all fueled by the belief that if I don't get what I want, I am diminished in some way. So I must diminish others to get what I want. It all comes from the point of view that what's good for you is not good for me, and what's good for me may not be good for you, but I don't care. It is the ultimate in the fractured mind, the illusion of separateness that we have created here. And so we can use that to understand what a marvelous physical example we've created of belief in separation. And then we can understand what's behind it, understand the wholeness that is behind it. And we can look at these things in a different way. We can look at what you can see in the person that you, or the representative in your government that seems to represent everything you disagree with. Look at that. Take a look at that and see what you can see in that person. See if you can see yourself in that person. See if you can connect. That's a wonderful exercise to do. If you can, pull back enough. Put aside the emotion. And try it. It's an amazing exercise, and I think it is something that can expand us, and it's something that we can use to better come to grips with the idea that we are more than just these sets of beliefs that we have, and that these beliefs that we have, political beliefs I'm talking about, even religious beliefs, are another tool we use to try to create the illusion of separateness and to make it real. So if we do that, and then we can also send out a healing vibration. We can visualize ourselves as one. We can visualize a healed government. We can visualize the kind of healing that can take place, where everyone's point of view, everyone's perspective, everyone's needs are part of the solution, where everyone feels that their needs, their thoughts, their beliefs are being taken seriously, are being respected, are being understood. And that's hard to do when, some people's beliefs have to do with hurting other people, or trying to attack another person, We can't support that. But what we can do is send a powerful prayer to help dissolve that kind of belief in attack and separateness. So those are things that this situation of government shutdown can bring to us. It's something we need to have, as frustrating as it is, because it helps us to understand more about who and what we are, what our actions are doing, and the beliefs that drive them. Now, you may say to yourself, yeah, but I don't think anybody's really thinking that deeply about it. And perhaps not. But I think in situations like this, one has no choice but to go a little bit deeper. And I think you'll be surprised that if you yourself go a little deeper, you'll be surprised that that also brings others along as well. We can't really change others' behavior. We can only do what we do for ourselves. And by doing that, that does change other people. So that is enough about government shutdown as far as I'm concerned. We're going to talk about some other things because there's been wonderful things that have happened this week. This has been the week of the Nobel Peace Prize. And so Nobel Peace Prizes have been awarded in all of the different categories. Perhaps the most the one we've talked about the most is the Nobel Prize for Physics, because we've talked quite a bit and continue to talk quite a bit about physics on this show, particularly quantum physics. And so the Nobel Prize for Physics was awarded to Professor Peter Higgs, better known as the discoverer of the Higgs boson particle, the God particle, if you will. And we've talked quite a bit about what that means in physics. How we have quarks and bosons. These are subatomic particles. And some particles are pure potential, and other particles are manifestation. And what the boson, what the Higgs particle does, is to take pure potential and give it substance, give it mass. That's, the abbreviated version. You can listen to some of my other broadcasts in the past where we've talked more in depth about it, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it again. But this summer, it was proved, finally, according to scientific, rigorous scientific testing through the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva, Switzerland. It's been 50 years since Professor Higgs postulated the existence of this God particle. And he has continued, to promote his belief in this, and finally has been, verified, justified, and so this prize is, well deserved. I would think anybody would agree that 50 years is a long time to wait to have your discovery verified. He added that in terms of later events, it seemed to me, this is him speaking, it seemed to me for many years that the experimental verification might not come in my lifetime. But since the startup of the LHC, that's the Large Hadron Collider, it had been pretty clear that they would get there, and despite some mishaps, they did. I should remind you that although only 2 of us have shared this prize, Francois Englert of Brussels and myself, that the work in 1964 involved 3 groups of people, including 2 in Brussels. Unfortunately, Robert Brout died a few years ago, so is no longer able to be awarded the prize, but he would certainly have been one of the winners if he had still been alive. But there were 3 others who also contributed, and it is already difficult to allocate the credit amongst the theorists. A lot of people seem to think I did all this single-handedly. It was actually part of a theoretical program which had been started in 1960. So Professor Higgs developed this theory while he was working as a professor at the University of Edinburgh, and the research was published in 1964. And since that time, discovering this particle has been the goal of many teams of scientists. And, well, finally, he's been proven correct. So congratulations to all of those scientists, not just Mr. Higgs, but everyone that he mentioned who was involved. So now that we know this, now that we know that this Higgs boson, this God particle exists, it changes the very nature of how we perceive reality. And it goes one step towards a fuller understanding by science of what mystics have talked about for centuries, which is the fact that reality is fluid and we create it just by observing it. That's what physics is doing. That's why, to me, it's very exciting. And if you haven't already seen, movies like What the Bleep Do We Know and others that have talked about this, you should have a look. I think you'll be fascinated. All right, then. Now, another nominee, although she didn't win it, but she was nominated to receive a Nobel Peace Prize, is this remarkable young lady, 16-year-old Malala Yousafzai, the Pakistani girl who was shot by the Taliban for pursuing an education, for being a outspoken activist for girls going to school. Remarkable woman, remarkable young woman. She did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. Instead, it went to a group called the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. It's an organization that's been around for a short time, but has been active in trying to rid the world of chemical weapons, and is now active in the efforts going on in Syria to eliminate chemical weapons there. So they won the prize. However, Malala herself got to visit with the President of the United States, Barack Obama, on Friday. And, first of all, I think it's a tremendous thing that the President did in bringing her to the White House and, recognizing her bravery and her accomplishments. She apparently didn't hold back at all. Although she was quite pleased to have the president supporting her work in advocating for education in Pakistan and Afghanistan and even in Syria, she also told him that she was concerned that drone attacks, which under his administration have spiked dramatically, and her concern was that these attacks are fueling terrorism. Innocent victims are killed in these acts, and they lead to resentment among the Pakistani people. If we refocus efforts on education, it will make a big impact. So, good for her for expressing, what is not a popular idea, particularly in this administration and in this country, but a truth nonetheless. The White House said in a statement that Malala met with the President and First Lady in the Oval Office, where the President signed a proclamation to mark Friday as the International Day of the Girl. The proclamation says in part that on every continent there are girls who will go on to change the world in ways we can only imagine if we only allow them the freedom to dream. So, Friday was proclaimed International Day of the Girl. And she has a memoir out that she has been promoting called I Am Malala, which was published this week. And that may be something you wish to take a look at. It's definitely at Amazon.com. So I'm sure you can find it there or at your local library. But a remarkable young woman, and certainly someone I admire for their courage and strength and wisdom. So those are very, to my mind, very exciting headlines, and to me the most important headlines of this week. Another one is another scientific breakthrough that happened in England, and it is a breakthrough that scientists have developed a medication that has the potential to stop Alzheimer's, to stop the degenerative disease of brain tissue that causes Alzheimer's. It's a breakthrough, and it's being called a turning point because they were able to administer this medicine to mice and stop the death of these brain cells. So this has really excited the neuroscience community, and what they're saying basically is it will be a while, it'll be maybe 10 years out before this drug can be developed and used in humans. But it's a turning point, and it's put them on the path to developing these drugs. And as they say, in about perhaps 10 years, we'll have a drug that will be able to, if not cure Alzheimer's, at least stop it. So this is an amazing breakthrough by Professor Giovanna Malucci, lead researcher in this, along with some of her colleagues, David Alsop, neuroscience professor at Lancaster University. And of course, as they always say, scientists are very cautious. They don't like to jump up and down about anything. More research is needed, and so forth and so on. But this could yield a single drug with wide-reaching benefits. That's the takeaway from this. And as they continue to do more testing, which I'm sure they will do, we could have a fantastic cure for Alzheimer's. So, I sometimes think it's a shame that, all of these research breakthroughs are happening, in Europe, because Europe puts more emphasis on scientific research. There's more money going to scientific research there, and we're falling behind in that too in this country, but that's a conversation for another show. Alright, to finish up here, let's do another guided meditation. This one is called the Blissful Mind Meditation. And I'm going to use some music to go along with it. And you can listen. This is to help you reach a blissful state. And to be able to break away from any negative beliefs or feelings you may be having and go into bliss. So this is the Blissful Mind Meditation. Please find yourself a quiet place to sit and dim the lights. Make sure that you're nice and comfortable, and loosen any tight clothing. Let your hands rest loosely on your lap. Close your eyes and relax. With your eyes closed, you begin to connect with your inner world of thought and feeling. Gradually, the external world will fade from your awareness. For the next few minutes, give yourself permission to enjoy this relaxing experience. You are free from all your responsibilities at this time, so put aside any thoughts of tasks or concerns that may be waiting for you. If you find that your mind wanders during this meditation, simply bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice, and I will guide you to a place of deep relaxation and inner stillness. Remember that you are always in control. If you wish to stop at any time, you can do so simply by opening your eyes. Now take a long, slow, deep breath in, and then release that breath. Feel yourself relaxing. Take another long, slow, deep breath in, and let it go. Take another deep breath in, and exhale completely. Notice how calming it is to breathe this way. Notice the feelings of relaxation that are beginning to spread throughout your body. Continue to breathe slowly, deeply, and gently. With each breath you take, your thoughts become lighter. You may sense a feeling of spaciousness opening up inside you. Relax now. Allow the gentle movement of your breath to guide you into an even more relaxed state. In and out, and deeper you go. In and out. Allow your mind to gradually slow down all by itself. Imagine that you are standing in a beautiful grassy field. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your face and body. You can feel the lush green grass soft beneath your bare feet. You can hear the sounds of nature around you. You are very much at home in this peaceful place. You have all the time in the world. You feel safe and happy here. Take a moment to look at your surroundings. You notice a large tree growing nearby. Begin to walk towards the tree. Take your time, be in the moment, and experience each step. As you walk, feel yourself slipping even more deeply into a state of total relaxation. Now you stand beneath the tree. Its strong branches and broad leaves hang right over your head. This is no ordinary tree. Its fruits contain special powers. So reach up now and take a piece of fruit from the tree. Study it for a moment and notice the color and texture. Take a bite. As the fruit slides down your throat and into your stomach, some